Control, this is Flight. We're tracking 3 fast-moving objects, origin unknown.
Just waiting for
All right,
Agent
that's
K.
702 area code. You're live on Aliens, UFOs, and Beyond.
Hi, sweetheart. How you doing? It's Chalice.
Hey, Chalice. Hey, perfect person to call right now. It's very, very interesting. But I want you to hold on because I think that actually Blake may be calling in right now. So hold on just a second. All right, caller, we have you live on Aliens, UFOs, and Beyond. Where are you calling from? What's your name?
Wow. Blake Cousins here, Third Phase of Moon. Christina, good show tonight. Good show. I'm so glad that yeah, sir, man. We're following up. People, we're following up on what the major media is still not doing it. They're not doing it at all. Have you seen this anywhere else? No, nobody's seen it anywhere else. Without Elijah and his son Evan out there doing what they just did, that's amazing stuff. But now, you look at their video. There's only 16 views on it. The world needs to wake up more. There's up to a couple 100,000 on Third Phase of Moon. But, why isn't the major media even touching this? It's something that you would think is amazing video. Amazing. It's almost surreal. You see the people being detained, hands up in the air, hands up, don't shoot, kind of stuff. This is like intense, and I don't know why there hasn't been any coverage. It's just a joke. What you guys are doing in this collaboration effort, now Chalice is on. She's an expert on Area 51. This Area 51 information has just come in that right after Elijah's incredible video. Then there's a video of a strange hangar that could be holding something that out of this world. It's just an unusual hangar that was information posted just because of they watched what Elijah and Evan did. They posted. So it's all about sharing this and getting down to what's going on in Area 51. At least let somebody in there to do some kind of, not see everything, right? Hey, this is a top secret level clearance. We're not going to be allowed in there. We could understand that, but at least let's get in, check some things out, give us some soft security, some clearance, soft security. Let's hear it. Some soft disclosure, people.
They did, Blake. Don't you remember they finally admitted the Area 51 existed? But it's not what we think. You got to remember that. It's just a testing ground.
Yeah, it sure is. You're exactly right. And just by admitting it doesn't mean much to me. And that's the big question as well.
So I always say they deny till you can't deny anymore, and then they come out with it, but then they twist it so that it'll still kind of keep the cover on it.
Oops, now we're getting calls in, but you take that over there, Brett. All I'm just saying is, there is some kind of soft disclosure in regards to what's going on in Area 51 because of Google Earth. Google Earth is quite amazing. And, but, there's a lot of editing going on. But Google Earth does fly over Area 51, and that's about as close as the public's ever been. And they update it all the way up to, I think, 2009 now, or 2011. They're still getting up to date. But the information comes in real fast. Is Elijah and Evan still on?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, we're still. It's actually it's Jeremiah, but we're
Jeremiah and Evan.
Sorry. Hey,
That's
Jeremiah.
right.
Sorry about that. And Evan, man. Yeah, doing good. I'm sure glad you guys are talking more about your experience over there and what you captured because, that takes a lot of guts. And, man, that's basically all I got to say. You guys keep up the good work. I just want to chime in and say, man, I'm digging this show, Christina, and I can't wait to hear what Chalice says next, too. You guys have a good one, all right?
Oh, well, again, thank you so much for calling in, Blake. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there should be more attention, but it does not surprise me that there's not. Again, they don't want to bring major attention to this. That's the last thing they want to do. And actually, Chalice has been on the show. She actually has a lot of information about Area 51. So what's your take on this, Chalice? In fact, let me ask you. So we've been talking, I don't know how long you've been listening, but we've been talking about how, this family is not the only family who has, for whatever reason, ended up passing those signs and are immediately, encountered and apprehended. But we never hear about them after the fact. Do you know what happens to these people when they are apprehended?
Yeah, they go to the first part of the base, which is, it's actually a third clearing called the danger zone. And they go into this, like a little boxed room. They just sit there and they interrogate each one of them. It looks like that's all there is. And it looks like a little dirty shack in the middle of nowhere. And you're inside it. And when you're in there, they have all these videos and all this stuff. And they test you. And you try to get out. You ain't going to go anywhere. And you get back in. And then you just sit there till they say, oh, if you're done, what did you see? Nothing. Are you scared for your life? Yes. Are you going to do this again? No. Then you can go. And then they can even erase your memory if you argue. So, yeah, it's a pretty dangerous place.
Wow.
And there's a reason, because there's things that walk around that area that are zoned. And Area 51 is known as doctors. And they're the ones who would take these creatures in, and J-Rod was one for 50 years. And they would get the parasites off of them. They would get things off of them. Because when you're in space, we are warm bodies, and the space shows that the parasites go in them. You're walking around out there, these parasites get off of these creatures, and they're walking around. You're going to get grabbed, and it's not an easy thing to get rid of these things. And if you don't know what's inside you, and you know that it's a safety issue. And if they release the information, we're not just at 50 years advanced, we're thousands. They know exactly what they have. But how do we tell the people? How do we wake up everybody? I've had the generals been calling me. I've had people call me, and they say, Chalice, it's your job to make them wake up. But the thing is they want us to know this now, because if we can transition into this whole ideal that if we could look and see a saucer above us 50 feet and not panic, but everything in our beings, our cells, they shake. You shake. You know it's there. And then it starts getting to you. And every man that would come in and have to take the test to stand next to these beings would want it. But the children were a little closer. But it still, I had a wall between me, even though the wall was like an air wall or a window wall. You want to look at it, you can see one side or not the other. And they knew I was there, and you'd still shake. And you still know that they're different. But when you start realizing, if we're prejudiced against black people, how are we going to accept purple people? How are we going to accept blue people? And if we see red, are they demons? And then you see red eyes, people are demons. Well, the thing is they use the red eyes because they're lenses. When you have a gun on a scope, the scope tells you red or green, to see the colors. And when they come from space, they can't really see all the colors. Some of them are night blind or light blind, so they wear these goggles. And that's what they show you when they do the autopsies. They remove their lenses first. And then you see they're not demons. They're not demons. But a lot of people don't know.
Right. I'm so glad that
some of the graves when people are using the night vision cameras, I noticed that they have pretty sensitive eyes to the infrared sensors shining on them. So again, that's a totally different spectrum of light that can't bother them. So that's the other thing. Why they cover themselves?
Yeah, a grave is not considered human DNA. They're like children right now. With the technology we know, your son should be making planets. The secret is that they've held back for so many years, and they'll probably kill me for this one, but I'm going to do it. The secret is space. You take black matter of space and you put water in it, it floats. All right, you've got it floated. Now you put dirt, minerals, everything in it, but then you put a DNA of life. You'll see it go heartbeat as it floats. Boom, boom. Like a starfish or a jellyfish. Boom, boom. They say, make this planet. Kids make planets. How come our kids don't make planets? This isn't fair. They hold them back. Your kids aren't supposed to be in school every day. You're not supposed to let your kid go to school till he's 15. You're hurting their brain when you do this because you're putting them in a box and you're making them use their brain when they shouldn't. They should be out playing, being kids. And then suddenly, wow, guess what I found out? I could build a planet today. I'm 15 now and I'm ready to go out and do it all. And they'll sit longer than any class you ever said because it was their choice and they were ready. But most kids are forced into these classes, and they're forced into these judgments, and now they're putting things into our kids' heads, and there's programs. And now they got phones. And the phones, they control the kids 90%. The manipulation that they love is that they can program it, and I've showed it, just like these new songs I'm showing my kids, watch it, there's a code. When the code activates, if you get all this consciousness, you think, okay, at the time I'm loving everything, I love my life, I love my parents, I love everybody. And they said there's no age. It happens to every single person, no matter what age. This consciousness is thrown at it. And now that the planet's till the 23rd, and those two black holes collided in between those other two planets, this opens up the consciousness on Earth. And they're saying this time, if we go above them and we show them we're there, and we're not going to harm them, we've been there all along, then maybe they'll let us be part of it, them. Because they tried the government's way, and the government chose to separate us. Air Force took over, the hostile takeover, my dad, everything changed. We were getting gifts. Our kids would have been the geniuses of the future, and they were all stolen. Everything was stolen from everybody, and they got killed. My father tried so hard not to let that happen, and a lot of men, really, really good men, did. And my father's dream was to let America be the future city, and it was going to happen. It was going to collide. And they did their first jump, and it was amazing. 250,000 people jumped, and I thought if they could jump, I could do it. So when it came my turn, we all went, and I did the jump. But it was different, but it wasn't what I expected because it was more like in my mind. So they told me, you have to sit in a chair for hours, and you have to learn to control your brain because every creature outside, everything you know out there, the only way they communicate is certain ways. Colors, light or dark. You're either for the light, and if they're bad, they'll kill you. If you're for the good is there, then they'll love you. But they're either one or the other. Religion
well, that's
is
a lot
math. Math.
That's a lot of interesting information, Chalice, and you're going to be on the show at the end of the month, and we're going to be talking about this. The show that we had you on, everybody was loving all of the information. You always have so much to add to the conversations. But I want to save a lot of that for our next show because, again, a lot of this stuff that you're talking about is, really important, but, again, I want to kind of stay on topic for what we're talking about right now. I'm actually got some more callers. I'm going to put you back on hold for just a minute, take a couple more callers, and then I'm going to bring you back on because I also want to get your opinion on our the other topic we're having on the RFID chip. So I will bring you right back on in just a couple minutes. Hold on.
Okay.
In fact, that's pretty interesting what Chalice was saying about, children being able to do amazing things like, build a planet or do things like that. I mean, Evan, since you're 10, I know she's saying 15, like, what are your thoughts? Because I think that kids would love to be able to expand, what they learn in school and have more, not only technology, but space and all these different things. And you see, when we were talking about that, seemed to kind of think that would be great if they had those kind of things in there. But do you think that maybe you would, if you're taught this stuff young, like you were saying, that you'll learn so much more by the time that you're older? Because you seem way beyond your years right now. I mean, and you're only 10.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I do.
So what kind of stuff would you like to see as a child? What kind of stuff would you like to see in your school curriculum?
Well, for one, I say that once you get into the higher grades, I don't think it matters so much of the writing and the reading and stuff like that, because that it doesn't really matter as much as things that you actually use mostly in your life. Like, some people have learned things in school, but then they never use them. So it's a useless waste of time that is just putting more stress on you, which is not very good at all.
So would you like to see like more like
more of like what we're talking about now, or maybe what's going on in the world more, not maybe like history stuff. Maybe instead of learning about what's already happened, maybe we can learn about what's happening and what we can make happen. Stuff like that. So to learn valuable life lessons and stuff like that. So things that are a little more important than, reading, writing, be able to solve a math equation in 2.5 seconds. Not everybody will use that in their life. Some people kind of enjoy it, and then that's fine, but not everybody enjoys it.
That's true. I went through, geometry and trig and calculus, and I have never used it, and that was like the hardest classes I ever had to take in my life. And I look back and I say the same thing as an adult as you're saying right now, Evan, is why in the world did I have to go and take all these classes? And I've never used it for anything. They used to say, "Oh, you'll use it." Oh, no, I don't. No, I don't. The very simple math I used has got me through life very well. So you're a smart kid, Evan.
When you think about being a kid, and when you're growing up, you're just doing all you can to use your imagination to create things, problem solving kind of thing. I think that would be more of a direction where kids are trying to go to now, rather than just sit in the classroom and learning what the teacher tells you and what's in a book. Because nowadays,
I'm a big.
It's more of a hands-on thing.
Right. I'm more of a supporter of homeschooling anyway, because I think that, again, so much that our kids are taught in school is a waste. There's so much more, that kids need to know what's going on. And like Evan said, great, we know the history, but what is it doing to help us? It's just information. And now all the information is on the Internet. Why do you have to have it in your brain?
Yeah, and how much of the history have we learned turned out to be the untruths?
Either false or they revised it or changed it.
Holidays, we celebrate this, and because they did this, and it turned out, well, you didn't really do this, but you're a bit of a criminal because you had slaves and all these other things, and it's like, and this is, we're celebrating this day because.
Well, like Easter, we have an Easter bunny. Where the hell, it's supposed to be Christ's resurrection. Where the hell do you get, I'm sorry, Evan, where the heck do you get, a Easter bunny from? It's like, and go pick up some eggs. Like, I don't know. I think the kids.
You mean it's not real?
Oh.
All these years, it's not real? Oh,
sorry.
Geez,
Sorry that you still believe it. I'm sure Evan's good on understanding that, the Easter bunny's made up. But if you didn't, I'm sorry I blew it for you.
I believe in Bugs Bunny, so that's more my speed there. So.
All right, I got to get to the lines. We got so many callers tonight. Hold on. All right. Another one from the 619 area code. You're live on Aliens, UFOs, and Beyond. Welcome to the show.
How's it going, guys? It's Kelly.
Hey,
Kelly. Well, we got everybody from the crew tonight. How are you doing? How you feeling,
good.
First of all?
Just listening to the show.
So what have you thought so far?
Well, I thought about the guy who videotaped the family that went on to Area 51. I caught that.
Yes,
he's
still on with us.
Yeah, so from right around then, that's when I started listening.
So what do you think? Did you see the video?
I got a couple. Yeah, I seen the video. I seen it off of Blake's Third Phase of Moon. I've seen it on there. I don't know. To me, I just got like two comments about that. First off, going out that direction anyway to Area 51, I mean, that family should have known. Either one, if they're terrorists, not terrorists, but tourists.
Tourists?
That they would, they're
well, they're
actually,
probably labeled terrorists for now at this point.
well, not terrorists, but I'm saying like tourists. You know, I mean, if you're heading out that direction, you know, you Google Earth it, or if you put it in Google Maps or something. Obviously, you're going into a direction in that way, right? You're going to see some signs. Mm-hmm. Yes, you have the the thing out there, but my thing is like, because I am in the military, and being around bases like that, you know what I mean, like the ones we have here in San Diego is, you can get close to it. You know, you're allowed to get on there. You can bring guests and stuff like that. But when you're talking about like Area 51, where the government didn't even recognize it for, I don't know,
right.
For years, until they had that fire out there. And the reason for that is because the workers out there, they got that chemicals that burned their lungs and stuff. So, and they had a lawsuit against the military or the government for that. So that's why the reason why they had to, acknowledge that it was out there. But for secrecy, you have to have some kind of. That's why they moved that. Even in Area 51 boundaries, they had to move it back for Archuleta.
Right.
Yeah.
Mountains.
Out there, so they had to move it back. The reason for that, it could be either one or two things. Just like Dugway out in Utah, you have chemical weapons. They don't want, that they test out there. They don't want, the downwind from that. Or, that's one theory that they give us, stories they give us. But if you think about it, if it's what we know that it is, for like UFOs and stuff like that, reverse technology, we don't know what kind of power systems these things might be using. Yes, I would say it's closer to, free energy, but again, we don't know. Like, maybe we're reverse engineering and maybe we don't get it right and it blows up.
Very true.
So it's like, it's either that, right? Okay, now if a family's moving out that direction, there's only one thing out there. So they should, to me, they know what was going on, but to cross the lines or, those.
Okay, they definitely had done the research. Jeremiah and his son were there. They spoke to him before they ever even headed to the gate. They were looking to go to the gates as well as them, but their English was not good. Jeremiah said they seemed really nice people, but their English was very bad, and they could just barely get by. And so they were trying to decide who was going to follow who, and so as they were going up, they ended up somehow, that van ended up in front of them. And so when Jeremiah and his son stopped, they stopped at where the signs were, but then a few seconds later, they took off and went through the gates. But they went through the gates and they went to the right as if they were trying to go up where the actual security was. And they had two guys parked up on the hill to the right that were watching. Yeah. And so when these people went, if you were to go through and you go to the left, that would start to take you towards Area 51. These people went through and went to the right, going up right towards where the military guys are, which Jeremiah's assumption is that they knew that they couldn't go to Area 51, but maybe that it was okay that they approached these guys, the military guys, maybe to ask them something or something like that. And because of miscommunication, it's the reason that they went through. He didn't feel at all, and Jeremiah, I know you're still on the line, you did not feel that there was any kind of malintent or any forethought that they were going to ran and just shoot through this thing and try to get to Area 51, right?
Oh, of course not. It was obvious that he was a good family man. The family had good morals, and even what you commented earlier, just the way that they were dressed. Obviously we all knew where we were going. That's why we were over there, just to get those pictures and all that video that everyone else has, at the main entrance. It's a foreign family. They're coming from completely just different background, different customs, and it obviously wasn't the wisest decision to drive through and to try to approach these guards, but that's what they did.
Yeah. Okay. This is another thing too, though. Okay. What I was getting to the point was, is because I seen the video where he went up to the right side, but out there, that line, there's no line, no boundaries of saying, hey, going left or right. That's still going towards Area 51.
Right. Oh, 100%.
But okay, so if they're doing that, maybe this is the other conclusion that I'm coming up with. Okay, they went up there, maybe they did made a mistake, and then they disappeared. But at the same time, if that happened, we probably won't hear from these families, I don't know, again or for a while, because even like with President Obama, he signed that thing over, that law that says if they have to, they don't even have to have a reason to hold you. So I mean that's one
Absolutely.
way, but there's another thing I was thinking about. Maybe I know they fly people inside there, right? They fly people, and just like Charles said, they went in there from one spot. They took a helicopter, but maybe these people were supposed to show up there. Maybe these people wanted to get up there, and even though because to me when I'm watching the video, it's almost like it's the way they're dressed. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like that when they backed up, had to walk all the way to the back. Maybe they were supposed to go to these guards. Maybe they were supposed to get actually go to Area 51. They just drove instead of flew in.
Interesting.
That could be another reason. You know what I mean? That they went out there. Yes, of course the military is gonna put guns on them. That's what they do. That's the Air Force. You know what I mean? I've been on bases where I accidentally crossed a blue line from a red line. Next, they're tackling you and throwing you down. So, if you're going, that's so that's the thing I was thinking about. Maybe they were supposed to go there.
Well, that's that's an interesting twist on it. I mean, Jeremiah, what are your thoughts?
Anything's possible. It definitely didn't seem like they had an invitation at the time, but and nothing can be ruled out. But just from my interaction with them, just from being there, and chatting it up and discussing whatever we could. They just seemed like the regular tourists. They were obviously out of town, and
did they say it all? Jeremiah, did they say it all? Did the man say why he brought his family there, or what interested him? In Area 51, did he talk about any of that?
No, we didn't get too detailed into that. I think just because of the language barrier. It was pretty much, it was pretty much where are we going to go from here, and who's going to follow who, and like I said before, we wound up following them.
Did you think that go ahead, Kelly.
I'm sorry?
I was just saying, did you might have asked them where they were from?
No, that never came up either.
Because there's a lot of